angry, I'm going to use anger because that was what was really profound this morning for me. Once I knew I was angry, I had to decide how long I wanted to be angry. How long do I want to be angry about this? Do I want to be angry for 15 minutes? I was hoping to be done in like a half hour because I was starting work. That was not quite accurate, but it was close. I was like, I'm going to be sad for this long, okay? And then, because it actually took me a minute to get into this process because I was driving to work and I was like, I knew I was teaching about it today, but I didn't really want to put it into practice because I was real busy. But I was like, I finally just had to buckle down and be like, all right, I don't want to feel like this anymore. What am I going to do? So here's step 2. Choose how long you want to feel. You have to first remember that you have to allow yourself to feel. Mm-hmm. These feelings are it's a feeling process, not a thinking process. You can't think yourself out of grief. You can't think yourself out of sadness. You can't think yourself out of these things. You have to be willing to feel those things. Because if you don't feel them, you can't heal from them, basically. 2, choose that time that you want to feel bad. And then that needs to be in real time. And keep in mind, for every minute that you spend in the negative, it will take at least that same length of time to get back to neutral. Not even back to happy, but back to neutral. Yeah. Not even to positive. You'll have to work even harder to get back to happy. So if you're going to be mad for a half hour, it's going to take you at least that amount of time to get back. Okay? Yeah. That's where so you have this negative space. This graph will make a little bit more sense if you go a little bit more than this thing. Mm-hmm. So, once you decide how long you're going to feel that negative feeling, you need to cut that time in half. So if you're going to be sad for a half hour, you need to cut that time in 15 minutes. And let me tell you why. Because coming to my next slide, you're going to set an alarm. Now this is key. Have you ever heard of the story of Pavlov's dogs? Where he rang bells and they would come and they would be salivating. They knew that bell meant it was time to eat. And pretty soon he'd ring the bell and they would come and they'd be salivating. And he wasn't really feeding them, but they recognized that bell with eating. It signified this. So you're going to make an alarm. It needs to be super obnoxious. Annoying even. And you're going to set an alarm for whatever that half point is. So if you're going to be mad for an hour, set it for half hour. And when that goes off, this is where things have to change. Okay? When that alarm goes off, you spend that first half thinking in your sadness, reminiscing over sad things, whatever that is, being angry and thinking about all the right reasons why you're right to be angry, whatever that is. Alarm goes off, new thoughts. That's where step 5 comes in. When the alarm goes off, you have to start thinking new and happy, positive thoughts. So think of it this way. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. Newton's first law, right? Until it's acted upon by an equal or stronger force. So these thoughts cannot just... A happy memory doesn't always do it. So you've got to find something that works for you. So either a happy time or something you're planning has to be a new and happy thought. It cannot be thinking about whatever you were just thinking about. And it has to be stronger than the emotion you're feeling. So it's going to look a little different for everybody. You're going to have to start thinking new and happy thoughts. And when you start thinking new and happy thoughts, then you get to neutral. And then last, as soon as you can, start to do something different. Start to do things that bring you joy or make you happy. And this will put you back on that path to happiness.
So I love you have your joy list because when you're in a moment like that, it's perfect to pull out a list to help you because it's already written down, it's already figured out, and you can literally just be like, okay.
Well, it segues into what we're going to do next.
Oh, perfect.
So, a little thing that we're going to exercise that you can start on tonight, but you can really fill it out in your own time as you figure this out. The key is, so when we're unhappy and we're mad and sad, we stop doing the things that make us happy. When we're depressed, we crawl into bed and we don't get out of bed. We stop going to do the things that bring us light and brighten our life. That makes you happy? Do it.
No,
you stop doing
when
it?
I'm mad, I do dishes.
Oh, well. Hey, at least
Clean
it's
my house.
stress
It's
clean.
funny you say we stop doing the things that make us happy. I'm like, yeah, that's when I get my house clean.
Stress clean. Awesome,
Yeah,
awesome.
funny.
But we stop doing those things that like really bring us light when we're upset. And that's, I think, a lot of people's pitfalls.
Yeah.
And I saw them use the example that now that example escapes me. Oh, never mind. But just think about, when you're in those spaces, you don't want to do anything that makes you happy. Your kid wants to come over and give you a hug. You're like, go to your room. Don't even talk to me. Like, even though you know it, like, logically, but you're not in a logical space. You're in this bad space. So it took me a good part of the day to work through these feelings because I was at work. I really had to come home, wait till I got home. I took a long shower. I got myself looking nice. I listened to music. I moved my body. I really had to work because I was pretty angry. I really had to work to get myself in a good space. Because I was like, if I can't get in happy, then they're not going to feel happy. Like, this is not going to work for them, and I can't prove my point. So the Kent Allen who does this, he's like every time I talk about this, he's like, someone says, I don't believe you. He goes, but in all the years I've been doing this, I've never been proven wrong.
That's cool.
So, okay. So, on the back, we're going to get to your reservoir. This image is not on there. So, I want you to think about yourself as a reservoir, okay? Where they store water. And when we start to get to the top of the reservoir being full, that's stress. Think about things that, did you know that it takes 2 weeks to drain a dam? But it takes 2 months to fill it. So when you're stressed, your energy and your happiness can flee from you quickly. And it takes a lot to fill it back up. So I want you to make a list of things to do to fill your reservoir, okay? And do them in increments. So on the back it says 5 minutes, 15, 30, 1 hour, half a day, 1 day, evening, and weekend. Because it's easy to be like, especially if you haven't planned ahead for your joy, to be like, I have 5 minutes, what am I going to do? I'm going to watch a show, whatever. It's easy just to like, okay, I'm going to clean, rather than spend like, okay, you know what, this 5 minutes I can use to fill myself. I'm going to listen to a song I really like. I am going to sing in the shower, whatever that is for you. So I would love for you, and you don't have to do it right now, we can work on it a little bit. Think of things that will fill you up. And what I would really challenge you is, we all have these cell phones now, right? Mm-hmm. And they have a note section, right? Mm-hmm. And you can fill up your note section with things that you can do all the time to fill up your joy. Because it's when we're not joyful that we have a hard time thinking of anything we want to do or like to do, for that matter. But it's also hard to like, well, what am I going to do? Read a book. Keep a book you like on your. I have we have the Kindles, but every phone can have a Kindle app now, and you could download a good book and start to read that you can work on yourself, work on joy, or something you just enjoy. Like, I really like to read Harry Potter, and or whatever it is. Like, I've been reading a lot of help to guide me. I had to read several books part of my course, and that's something that I've been enjoying more and more lately, is the learning aspect of it. But if I didn't have this list of things I wanted to do or like to do, it would be much harder for me to fit that into our busy schedule. And we might have a few minutes here or there that we can really fit that in.
Especially when you're caught up in the negative emotion. Like, yeah. I found before this concept came to me, I found that it was really hard for me to make a shift and to think of, like, what can I do that's positive when I was in a really negative mode, Now,
one thing that came back to mind to me, so when we go to how long you want to feel bad, step number 2 for a minute, I want you to think about this. Think of when I was in grief, I spent weeks in grief. And not that I didn't have happy moments, or when you are depressed and laying in bed, or you have just gone through the ringer. Those feelings can last for days and weeks and months. So what I really want to challenge you to do is break those into smaller bite-sized things. So I don't care if you have to go through 20, 15-minute sessions throughout the day where you say, I'm going to be sad, I'm going to be unhappy for the next 15 minutes. Because the thing about feeling these negative feelings is really what we're feeling is the loss of agency. We feel like our choice has been taken away from us. And when you take that choice in your own hands, you're choosing how long you want to feel that way. You get your agency back. And so you can, as often as you need throughout the day, choose to have your joy back. You can choose to have your agency back. And when you make that a practice for yourself, then you're going to feel more in control of yourself, and ultimately you're going to find that you have more joy. And then just because I thought it was fun, so that's my 6 steps. We're going to do the list. I found some joy affirmations because I really like affirmations, positive statements we can say to reaffirm our joy and to own it. Because I think just as much as you say negative things like, I feel so sick, I'm like, no, don't own that. Say you feel well. Like, I feel well. I feel at peace with my, whatever it is. Like, I find that when you accept the negative, like, I feel really angry right now. You're telling yourself that you're accepting that. And I don't want to own that. I want to feel it and get rid of it, but I don't want to sit there and own it and live in it. So these are some affirmations you can have to have joy. I choose to be joyful. I am willing to allow joy to enter my life. Joy is mine right here, right now. I execute my daily tasks with joy. I am worthy of love and joy. Joy is in my heart and in my life. How beautiful are those statements, and to own that. Let's own those things. Let's own those feelings, so that when you come to a hard thing, you just know that the outcome will be better. Like, I haven't resolved any of the things that made me angry this morning, but I chose in myself that it will be fine. And I will have time later to really work through the situation, but it's not worth losing my whole day. I think sometimes we allow a bad 15 minutes to wreck our whole day. Was it a bad day or was it a bad 15 minutes? And we want to own that like an honor badge. Like, I have a right to feel this way because of this, and we let those outside things influence us.
And that's when bad things keep happening to you, because you have that negative energy.
Well,
and then, like, you get madder and madder and madder, or something happens at the store and you get even madder, or your kids are bugging you so bad.
Well, when you're looking for it, you're already
it will
expecting
come.
the negative, you're going to find that. But just as much as you expect the negative, when you expect the positive, you're going to find that.
And that's why people say, I had the worst day, because it just snowballs.
Right? Because they're
you
looking
have
for
to
the worst
change
day.
it. Yeah, you have to change it, and then it can become happy again.
I did have this hard thing, but I really had a good day the rest of the day. I had this. So rather than sitting in that, when you choose to get through that, you're going to be so much happier.
But it's hard to switch it sometimes, because sometimes I want to be mad. You know what I mean? It's one of those things like,
And that's okay. But when you start to choose how long you want to be mad, and you make it your choice, when you make it something that you're choosing, then you're like, I don't want to choose to be mad anymore. Like, I don't want to feel this way. When you realize that those feelings are yours,
part of it, because you want to be mad because you want to.
you feel justified in it, right?
I think in your mind you're thinking, well, I'm choosing to be mad. I'm going to be mad. But if you
I'm
break
justified
it
in my mad
into this timeline, you can still have that, and then you can be done with it, and you can move on, and that feels awesome.
Yeah.
You got to feel that way, but then you also get to
no one
take
took
your
it away
choices
from you.
back.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's what I have today. So find joy in the journey, or find joy in your journey. There's lots we can do. There's lots we can have to bring more joy in our life. And so I hope that helps all of you. And for those of you who watch it later, if you need the slides or you'd like the little handouts, I'd be happy to give them to you later. Thanks.